Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You're watching Bob Hansen, Tom Uchek, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. You still up? Live. It's Buffalo After Dark.
Welcome to Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It's Tom, of course, and it's Wednesday, April 7th. And, of course, Adam is apparently going on a little bit of a marijuana bender because he ended up hearing the news about Sam Darnold earlier this week. We'll talk about that later on the show. But anyways, of course, tonight we've got our usual Bob Hansen here.
Good. How are you? I'm just concentrating at the moment, just pouring myself a nice big glass of orange juice just to get ready for the show.
Nice. And then, of course, we got Andy Van Meer captaining the ship here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and already Andy's whining like a bitch because Adam's not here.
Oh, I wanted him to be here too.
Little Andy.
My man.
I thought I was your man.
You're the man that I'm gonna mess with.
And then, of course, if Luffy shows up, I mean, we got to bring up Sam Darnold because he was basically having an epic meltdown once he found out that the Jets traded him to Carolina this past week.
Yeah, that was you know what's really funny is me, Andy, and Adam, the three of us, were hanging out together on Monday night because it's a very interesting breakdown how this all came out, because I'll give you a quick rundown. So what happened was, I didn't even know this was happening until like throughout the day. And I was actually at work with my buddies. I had to take a road trip to get some supplies for our job. And my buddy Brian, who, shout out to you, my man, who doesn't watch the show, but I'm giving him a shout out anyway, is a Jet fan. And I saw on Twitter of a video clip of Ian Rappaport saying, oh, the Jets are entertaining offers on Sam Darnold, and the Carolina Panthers are one of the teams to have interest. And sure enough, I didn't really just pay much into it because I thought he was bluffing, because there were other teams in mind. At around 4 o'clock, which was around the time I usually get out of work. Oh, there's Adam.
I literally did this for Andy.
My dog.
Okay.
That's my dog.
Yeah, so as I was saying is, so I get the text and it said Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers. And I said, oh, wow, let's see what Adam says, because he's a Panther fan. So obviously I send it to him, click, and he doesn't pick the message up until after he gets home from work. And the first reaction, and let's just say he did not handle this very well. So I want to read this to you because we actually do have some breaking news on the Carolina Panthers, but I want to share this story really quick because this is just fucking hilarious. So I tell him about the trade, and he says, fuck me, this is gay as fuck. I'm switching teams. This is bullshit. Then I said to him, I think he's going to be in a much better situation than he was in New York, and I gave him a list of rundowns or whatever. Doesn't matter. He's a fucking bum. And then I asked him, what if he turns into a stud? Anybody who leaves the Jets turns into a stud 9 out of 10 times. Plus, he's getting something in Charlotte. Talent and lots of it. And he says, I don't know, man. That's a big maybe. And then we just went on about Darnold. And then he says, the Jets stats are just gross. Fuck me. Barely ever completion ratings are 60%. I mean, it's not all the coaches, though. He has to perform well. And we will have to see. And now the Panthers don't have the pick. I mean, they have the 8th overall pick at this point. Now, who do we go after? And then he was just not handling this very well. And then we went on a call on Monday night, me, Andy, and Adam, the three of us, because we were trying to calm his ass down. And he was just in a fetal position, just pretty much ready to cry at this point.
I'm gonna. Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll say this.
First, Adam, how much? What kind of good weed do you have today?
You know what? I didn't even smoke anything yet. This is why I'm kind of.
Okay.
Oh.
So here. I'll say this again. Every time somebody mentions his name, fucking rots the shit out of me because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Oh, yeah, he was on a bad Winnipeg Jets team. Oh, this and that. And Adam Gacy is a fucking bad coach. And blah, blah, blah. And he didn't have this. He didn't have that. I don't give a fuck, man. You don't. He's 23 years old. Okay, he's still young. Still young. I guess you could look at the fact that maybe he could have some kind of fucking future. But in my eyes, and a lot of fucking Panthers fans' fucking eyes, it's like, oh my God, you're bringing in fucking, what's that fucking goalie, the worst goalie in NHL history? What's his fucking name?
Michael Hutchinson.
No. Oh God, he was terrible. But anyways, you're bringing in a guy to a good team that has every element that they fucking need, and then you're like, oh wait. We'll solve this problem by bringing in Sam fucking Darnold. Let's bring him in. You know what? This fucking all the work you did in the offseason, all that fucking shit. You know, you got fucking McCaffrey right here. Just fucking bring in Sam Darnold. Sam fucking Darnold.
Tell us how you really feel.
You're bringing a fucking guy that can literally doesn't even have over. Oh, dude, it's fucking okay. College career. Yep, fucking fantastic. Anybody can have a fucking good college career. Bring him up to the big time. Look at the guy. He fucking literally has below 60% average of fucking passing rate. He doesn't. Dude, the guy stands in a pocket like a little bitch the whole time. He doesn't run. He falls to the ground like fucking Brett Favre.
I can't even tell you to even calm down because I know you're pissed. I can't tell you what I can't. There's nothing I can do to make you feel better because it's Sam fucking Darnold.
Oh God, this makes me like, you know that feeling you get when you want to vomit? That's like a wet feeling.
Oh yeah.
If he was my cube, he had me vomiting too.
Yeah.
I've had it for 3 days now.
Yep. And then after you puke, then you have the after effect where it feels like straight acid and it just eats away at you.
Yeah, basically. And to those who missed the trade details, it was sent on ESPN on Monday afternoon that the Jets are indeed trading Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers, and the Panthers gave up a 2021 sixth-round pick, a 2022 second, and a 2022 fourth. And if the Panthers make the playoffs next year, they're going to be late second and fourth rounders. So for this year alone, the Panthers barely gave up nothing. So the 2 picks for next year are going to be critical. So I mean, with the amount of talent they have around him, I would suspect Darnold could blossom into something that he wasn't in New York. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, but we'll see what happens. But then it was said that the Panthers were the best and sole suitor for Darnold, and with the New York Jets wrapping their heads around Zach Wilson for a quarterback in the future, which is coming up in 3 weeks, Carolina was the only team that was able to afford him.
Zach Wilson, my baby.
Yep, so basically it was a Wilson for Darnold trade. And what's even more embarrassing is what really pissed off Adam was we found out on Monday night that not only did the Panthers trade for Darnold, but they're going to pick up his 5th-year option, what makes an estimate of like $23 million.
You know, I'm not even touching this subject right now. Not doing it.
Yeah, but if you want something to help you out a little bit, Adam, I actually have some breaking
news. No, I
news
don't want anything to help me. Shut up.
AJ Boye to the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, that's not even. That's like getting herpes and like being like, here's some cream.
Well, before we continue, and Adam, if you want, I'll buy you a bottle of 192 proof spiritus, which is like 96% alcohol. If it helps.
Oh God.
It wouldn't even help.
Okay. But I did at least offer that to you, and that stuff's actually pretty cheap. It's like less than $20 a bottle. So
yeah, that's for sure. And
send it up by the fucking keg, bud.
Well, you guys watching at home, if you want to jump on, give us a call. Absolutely, you're welcome to join the show, 929-205-6099. And then, of course, when you call in, just make sure you use the meeting ID and the passcode that you see in the video on our site, and then basically from there, have a take.
dare you.
So
I dare you to call in. I fucking dare you to call in.
try to help Adam feel better.
No, I want somebody. I literally want somebody to call in and tell me one fucking positive the trading for Sam Darnold. I want one positive.
He's so mad. It's funny as shit. I'm sorry, dude. I love you to death, but this is the funniest shit I have ever heard come out of your mouth.
I would have rather. Okay, here's what they should have done. They should have literally, if they're gonna fucking dumpster fire like this, he literally should have been like, "We'll take Sam Darnold. We'll take all of his contract, and now, hey, Patriots, how about you take Sam Darnold? We'll take back Cam Newton."
Yeah, watch the Patriots trade up and take friggin' Trey Lance. That'll help.
Yeah.
No, Trey Lance should be a 49er.
I hope so.
Yeah, he should be, but he probably won't be.
I don't know.
It's oh man, I'm so lost.
Yeah.
You're so lost, dude. My team's about to draft fucking Mac Jones. Mac Jones, the same type of quarterback that Jimmy Garoppolo is. You think I'm not fucking sweating bullets right now if they go through with this?
They didn't do it yet. They didn't do it yet.
Yeah, well, it's only 3 weeks away. That's a lot of time to sweat.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time before it happens.
Yep.
I swear to God, I hope it's a smoke screen.
And what's even icing on the cake about this whole situation to begin with is the fact that the freaking Darnold family, Sam Darnold's family, threw him a fucking party just to get away from the Jets.
I want to tell Adam so bad that he's in a better position now as a quarterback with the team that he's got. But
if you're realistic, you're like, no, you're not going to tell me that.
nothing with the fight side.
It's not right. You're not going to tell me that.
No, I know. I wish I could.
Like I say, it's Godspeed Teddy Bridgewater.
You know, yeah.
Both of them. Put them in the. If you could took Teddy Bridgewater and took his head and drove it up Sam Darnold's ass, it wouldn't make one good quarterback.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about Teddy Bridgewater is the Panthers gave him two choices. They said you can explore your options, and if there's a team out there that you really, really want to play for next year, we're willing to talk to that team and trade you there, or you could stay with the team and we'll have to restructure your contract because neither of them want to be within each other. Teddy doesn't want to be in Carolina. The Panthers don't want him. So it's almost like immediately after you get Darnold, it's like you're desperately trying to get rid of Teddy Bridgewater. Then what are you gonna do?
I heard he's going to the Pats. That's what I heard.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't even be shocked if he went to Washington or Denver.
Very possible. I mean, Denver needs a QB.
I heard he was going to the Pats because to help out Cam Newton. That's what I heard.
Wouldn't shock me.
Mhm.
Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, Belichick's done that before.
I heard that the Pats were going to retain half of his salary or upwards or more of his salary. That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's pretty ludicrous, really. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this guy because of the fact that the Panthers did all this work just to be where they are now is just mind-boggling. And the fact that the Panthers are willing to trade Teddy Bridgewater to reduce salary, I think it's a pretty genius idea. But then again, when you look at the bigger picture, what else are they going to do? I mean, who are they going to back up with? I mean, it's definitely not going to be Teddy Bridgewater for all we fucking know. I mean, there's a chance they could take freaking Trey Lance. There's a chance they could take Justin Fields.
No. Here's what's going to happen, okay? We're going to get one game in, and we're going to be like, oh, fuck yeah, Sam Darnold's a bum. We already knew that. And they're going to pass the ball to McCaffrey and be like, hey, McCaffrey, can you chuck the ball or just take the ball and run with it? And he's like, yeah, man, I can fucking do that. And then, yeah, problem solved.
Basically, I mean, like I said, I mean, now that I look back on it, I feel like, and this has just been a thing I've been noticing with the Carolina Panthers. Ever since the Darnold trade, they've been making moves.
Just stop saying his name. Just stop.
All right, fine. I'll call him Sammy Dix. But anyway.
No, just say ever since that trade. That's all you got to say.
All right.
All right, fine. Well, regardless.
Quarterback X.
Wait, what happened, Tom?
You always call him Quarterback X.
Yeah, we can always call him that too, or Patient Zero. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna call him Patient Zero. Ever since they traded for Patient Zero, I've been noticing lately that the Panthers have been making moves as far as depth pieces go. And one of them I mentioned earlier was AJ Boye to Carolina for a 1-year deal. So I'm kind of surprised by this, but I mean, it will definitely help their defense for sure. It will definitely help the secondary.
Now, can we move on? I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Sure.
Yeah. As I say, you really need a bottle of that Spiritus, don't you?
Now here's the thing. Now, what does the Panthers go at? Well, what should the Panthers go after in the draft now? Is the next big question for them.
Me and Bobby were talking about it. I thought they'd go after like a tight end or center.
You can get plenty of centers. The tight end might be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some ones that can go in the second round, but I don't know if you want to give them a first round grade. But it all depends on who you like and what you're going after.
Right.
Absolutely.
Center depth's pretty decent this year, and actually, I remember like last night on Horns and Hooves, I know the guys from Phantomonium, I know they had their K-Gun report. They were doing some of the draft analysts analysis on what they were thinking with their speculation. So I mean, not bad to check out. I mean, they got some pretty decent stuff too. But yeah, center. I mean, you can get one pretty easy.
Yeah. I think if I'm the Panthers, I would look at one or two things. I would look at Micah Parsons from Penn State. I would look at Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle from Northwestern, or I would look at offensive tackle Penei Sewell from Oregon. I mean, one way or the other. I think if they're going to protect Darnold, the best thing you could probably do is just build up that offensive line. That's just me, though.
You need every fucking defensive fucking person in the league to protect that goddamn vagina. You need every fucking player.
Well,
he got sacked 98 times. 98 fucking times.
I mean, he did play for the New York Jets, but that's not going to excuse
him. I don't care. Can't your legs move?
Well, if the Panthers are serious about drafting an edge rusher, your best bet is Gregory Rousseau from Miami. That's your best bet at this point.
No, dude. That guy, whatever his name is, somebody the second. Guy.
Patrick Surtain the second. He's a corner.
Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, out of Alabama. That's not a bad pick either. I mean, again, like I said, I think the whole purpose was for them is to not feel pressured about having to trade or use the 8th overall pick on a quarterback and hoping to God that he actually banes into something. So I just think maybe, if I'm just logically thinking that they get Darnold and you have the 8th overall pick, you can use that on whoever you want at this point.
Mm-hmm. You know what? At this point, if I had the option for the 8th pick, I'm literally not. You've already made your choice. You've already fucking picked the worst quarterback you could have fucking picked. And now at this point, you're just like, if I'm the Carolina Panthers management, I'm just like, you know what? We already fucked up once. We might as well just fucking, probably give this pick away or fucking just fucking shit the bed again, because what else? How shittier can we get after taking a pick like that? Taking a fucking quarterback that's not even proven. He has no fucking. Oh God, his stats are stupidly gross. Stupid.
That's not to say he won't do well.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying like the guy's stats scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, that scares shit out of anybody playing on a Jets team like
Right. Now here's a good one for you. Who would be worse, Mr. Patient Zero or Josh Rosen?
I would probably go Rosen, because Rosen was never given a chance. But at least for Darnold, he had 3+ years to actually just show what he can do. But then again, when you trade him to a better position where he is now, he's going to have a lot more talent around him. But Rosen is a freaking practice squad player, because at least with Darnold, he's at least getting another shot to be a starter.
Right.
Yeah. Where is Rosen? I don't even know where Rosen is. Where is he? I don't even know where the hell he is.
Who, Rosen?
Yeah.
I think he's on Tampa.
Is he? I don't even know.
I'll say this. I'll say that Rosen's worse, but I'll say this. My goddamn 5-year-old daughter has a better arm than fucking Sam Darnold.
I didn't know you had a a daughter.
Oh, actually,
No.
here we go.
Yeah, I got two daughters.
So
Wow, congratulations! I didn't know that.
I got a 13-year-old, bud, and a 5-year-old.
I did not know that.
here we go. Little update on Josh Rosen. He is no longer with Tampa.
Oh, goody. Now where is he?
The San Francisco 49ers. He signed on December 23rd, 2020 and basically the 49ers signed him off the practice squad following injuries to Garoppolo and Nick Mullins. And
You had to sign somebody.
And the practice squad QB Josh Johnson being placed on their COVID-19 reserve list.
Well, congratulations, Adam and Andy. You have two of the shittiest quarterbacks on the 20.
Even better. And even
Andy,
better.
I'll tell you what, Andy. I'll give you fucking Sam Darnold for Rosen.
That's okay. We'll be drafting hopefully Trey Lance, but I don't know if it's looking like that. Fucking Mac Jones seems to be the favorite, and I don't want to talk about it.
Right. Get this, though, too. So apparently Rosen was active for the last 2 games of the season for the 49ers. Didn't play at all. But on February 8th, just about 2 months ago, they actually signed him to a 1-year extension. So he's actually going to be on a team for more than 1 year.
Awesome. He can hold the playbook. That's fine.
Yep.
Send that to the coach and give him water when he needs it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you just reminded me of that movie, The Water Boy, with Adam Sandler. It's like, that's some high quality H2O.
Gatorade, H2O, needle dick.
Well, here's something interesting.
What? What do you
Bill
got?
Brandon Bean was at these pro days so far. He's been to Alabama's pro day, Clemson's pro day,
Oh,
South Carolina Gamecocks pro day, and FSU's pro day. So we all know who's on Alabama: Najee Harris, Landon Dickerson, Alex Leatherwood, Christian Barrymore. Clemson with Travis Etienne, Jackson Carman, Amari Rogers. FSU, Asante Samuel Jr., Hamza Nasruddin, and South Carolina's J.C. Horn and Israel Mukumau. So,
I'd imagine that the 49ers are going to make a good pick. Either way, I see you making a good pick.
I guess.
I
don't
hope
know.
it's not Mac Jones.
I hope to God it's not, but everyone seems to be like, hey, that's Shanahan's guy. That's who he's yada, yada, yada connected with. And I'm like, okay, whatever. He just moved up to get practically the same quarterback, but okay.
Right.
I hope that's not the way they go because they need a guy like Trey Lance. They need a guy like Trey Lance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true story. But I mean, I will say the Bills are quietly making some moves. Actually, one of the moves that ended up coming up is that they ended up coming to terms with guard Forrest Lamp. And probably
Forrest Lamp. This sounds so dumb.
Yeah.
Forrest Lamp. Like Mama said, this is my running shoes.
It's a good move.
Mama said this is my lamp.
But but Lamp
Forrest.
the Bills. He played with the Chargers for 4 seasons, started 16 games in 2020. He's been in 25 career games, started in 18, and he was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2017 NFL draft out of Western Kentucky.
I just can't comprehend how somebody's last name is Lamp to begin with. And then
I love Lamp.
And then your mom is like, hey, the best name for you, honey, is going to be Forrest. We're going to call you Forrest Lamp. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I got nothing against the guy. I don't know his fucking career or whatever, but anybody that drafts him is just like, we drafted a Forrest Lamp.
I see so much better now.
I can see. Mama used to have kittens on the porch.
Mama said this lamp was a bright one.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's even more interesting is that I don't know if Adam picked up on this or not, but there was actually an NHL trade that happened 20 minutes before the show. And that was Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac were both traded to the New York Islanders.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll tell you this. So it's Palmieri and Travis Zajac to the New York Islanders for Mason Jobs, AJ Greer, a 2021 first-round pick, and a 2022 conditional fourth-round pick. And the Islanders are retaining the remaining salary on both of these players.
Okay, so I guess Toronto's getting Granlund or fucking Foligno now. That's the only ones we're getting now.
Yep. So my guess now is what happens to Taylor Hall? Which team is going to get him?
Well, I just saw that. What the hell's his name? One of the TSN.
David Pagnotta?
No, not Pagnotta, not Friedman. The other guy.
Darren Dreger? Bob McKenzie?
Yeah, Darren Dreger said that Boston is heavily involved with Taylor Hall.
Wait, who is Boston?
Boston.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay. But here's a good thing, though. If you were to trade Taylor Hall to Boston, what would the realistic expectation in a return be?
I said it from the beginning. I said DeBrusque and a third.
I'd have to run down their lineup to see what I'd want.
Yeah, I said DeBrusque and maybe a late pick. That's what I said from the beginning.
Well, I was thinking if they're going to trade him to Boston, I would be more than welcome to give Boston Colin Miller back as far as a deal for Taylor Hall goes. And then Buffalo could get Jacob DeBrusque and maybe a first-round pick if they're lucky.
Oh, I don't know. I was kind of hoping my for the Leafs they need like a top six forward, and I don't know what else they need. So I was kind of hoping for Palmieri. I thought Palmieri was the better fit, but maybe it's going to be Nick Foligno now, or maybe it's going to be Granlund. So
It's going to be very interesting with the deadline as far as concerned, because Palmieri's name came up in a trade rumor speculation for the last couple of days. I mean, obviously the Islanders were brought up, Boston was brought up, Toronto was brought up as far as destination goes.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said,
I have to look. I have to look and see what they got because besides DeBrusque, I gotta see what they have for prospects.
Oh, it'd have to be a pick of some kind.
Well, they got all their picks, so
yeah, like I said, it's gonna be a very interesting trade deadline as far as teams are concerned. Because really, I mean, if Palmieri can go to the Islanders tonight, then I could certainly say that Taylor Hall could be traded tonight or tomorrow, any day of the week up to Monday. So it really, I would suggest that maybe Taylor Hall is one of the better trade bait players available in the upcoming draft. And what's even more interesting, I said this earlier today, and that is that if Jack Eichel for some reason were to be traded in the offseason, the Calgary Flames are going to be heavily involved.
Well, dude, the way I look at it, that's fucking so dumb. I seen that one trade was like Jack Hughes and who was the other player?
It was Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier to Buffalo for Jack. It was Jack Eichel and Rasmus Dahlin for Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier.
Yeah, and that to me is like the dumbest trade I've ever seen in my life, because Buffalo would lose hardcore on that. They'd lose because you're losing a franchise fucking player for Nico Hischier, which is like an iffy elite player, and I don't know. Jack Hughes is not anywhere near ready to be like that type of player. So Buffalo would lose out badly on that one.
Yeah, so it's like I said, this deadline, I mean, that proposal itself was just so goddamn stupid. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. But I don't see the Islanders, I mean, not the Islanders. Why am I keep saying that? I don't see the Devils making that trade at all, like ever, as far as I'm concerned.
No, plus you have a franchise fucking player, and you have a franchise fucking defenseman. You don't get that overnight. So like, how the fuck can you trade that for two if players?
That's a great question because it wouldn't work in anybody's grasp at this point. I mean, New Jersey would just get better and Buffalo would just go downhill. I mean, I get why the Sabres would make the deal because they need help on scoring, but to trade Darlene and Eichel, that's just franchise killing. And I've said that before.
To get scoring, you're fucking trading away your best player for scoring. Your best point getter is Jack Eichel. Like, why would you ever trade him?
Could be worse. I mean, I've seen Thomas Vanek for Matt Molson.
Well, okay, that's just dumb, but yeah.
Yeah, I've seen worse. But or maybe there's a lot of bad trades that the Sabres have made in the last few years. So, and none of them have really panned out. So it's not really a shock whatsoever.
I don't know. I'm still pulling for Taylor Hall going to Florida.
Oh, I'll take him in the Leafs Nation.
I'm sure you
Well,
will.
what would Toronto even give up? What would Toronto even give up?
You give me a Kerfoot.
I'll take it.
That's it.
I'll take it.
Kerfoot, we eat half his contract.
I'll take Kerfoot a second and Rasmus Sandin.
There's no more ands after
No,
that.
there's fucking ands there, bud. Sorry.
No, dude, he's not even close. Like, Kerfoot's not good. He's like a mediocre player, but I don't think he'd be Sandine. Are you fucked?
Sorry, bud. Either that or I guess I'll take Timmy Liljegren, but
No, I'll give you a third in Kerfoot, and I'll eat half his contract.
you can kiss my ass.
Well, that's all he's worth. He's not going to get any more than that.
You guys, you can't just base him off of this year. You got to go through his whole resume.
His whole resume is not that good.
He's an MVP of the league for 1 year. That says a lot.
One time.
Doesn't matter. He's a top 6 forward.
Okay, so if you were to trade for Austin Matthews tomorrow, what would you give?
If I was going to trade for him, I'd probably have to give up a lot.
Oh, fucking lot. Oh,
Yeah, that's a player that requires 5 to maybe 6 pieces.
Yeah, and
Actually,
I'll say 6 pieces, and I say 2 of those are playing pieces.
I'm actually surprised the Islanders didn't give up more for Palmieri. I'm surprised they didn't give up a more.
Dude, I think the
prospect.
Leafs actually offered more than that.
Possibly. I mean, like I said, I would rather be trading Taylor Hall to a team like Florida or St. Louis. I would not trade him to Toronto by any means.
No, because you don't want the fact that Toronto would get better. You don't like that. You hate
It's
that.
not even that. I mean, what role would he have? You're going to trade for a guy who makes $8 million to do little to nothing. You're going to do that and then just slap him on the first line with John Tavares and Austin Matthews?
No, he'd go on the second line with Willie and fucking Galchenyuk.
Look, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of him going to Toronto. I just don't see a fit there. I just don't. I mean, I think Toronto could get much better options in scoring. I mean, what happened to Nick Foligno? What about Victor Arvidsson? What about those guys?
Granlund is the guy I want the most.
So you would not mind Granlund, but you wouldn't mind Taylor Hall either.
No, they're both like what we need. They're like top 6 forwards. That's what we need.
It's a good case in point, but it's definitely one of those things where I could see it going one way or the other. I didn't even see an Edmonton's name being thrown around to have Taylor Hall go back.
Well, yeah, but like you have to look at the fact that who has the assets to give at this point? Who has pieces to move?
And
Right?
and the question too is who has the cap to do it?
We don't need cap. We have players to move.
Well, you gotta have some cap, and you gotta have money on money for player on player. You gotta be able to shuffle that around.
So, like, we'd have to eat some salary. They'd have to eat some salary.
Yeah, and I mean, look what happened with that trade. New Jersey had to retain 50% of each of those players' salary.
Exactly, and that's just how it works.
But that's the thing is they gave up no roster players. They gave up prospects and picks.
Yeah.
So of course they're going to have to eat that salary.
No, well, basically they gave up nothing. It's
Nothing more valuable than maybe the first round pick. I know AJ Greer's. I think he was a high first round pick or a mid level first round pick, but
yeah. I think
everything
he
else is.
10th overall in the first round or some shit. But I don't know. They didn't give up much to get him. So
No, and again, I think the Islanders did very well in this trade because you have two pending UFAs, and if they end up liking both, I mean, I think Zajac retires in the end of the year, but that's just me. Palmieri, I could see getting an extension, but it really just comes down to what the Islanders do going forward because it's very obvious that they wanted Palmieri, but to throw in Travis Zajac to me is a bonus because not only are you filling in the wing gap, but you're also filling in a top role position within the center position because Leo Komarov has not panned out, and they've been looking to trade him for a while now.
Leo Komarov is old, man. He's old.
Yeah, and so is fucking Zajac.
Exactly. The only piece of that equation that was worth getting was Palmieri.
Well, regardless of what the Islanders did tonight, I think for what it's worth, short term, I think this worked out very well. But as far as long term, I think New Jersey wins the trade.
Well, fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah, and they're already near $10 million in cap. And plus, you're also going to expose PK Subban, who's going to get taken by Seattle. And I'm very confident that's going to happen.
All right, nobody cares about him.
I mean, if he was a Leaf, I think people would care, but he's not a Leaf.
No, I wouldn't care because there's no way the Leafs would ever look at that guy.
Well, I guess we'll find out down the road.
Absolutely. And then before we get into a little bit of the Sabres talk here too, I'm just going to remind everybody you're more welcome to call in 929-205-6099, and that gets you on the air. And actually, a little bit of a heads up, coming up on tap, future guest, former sportscaster Lauren Brill has agreed to join the show.
Ooh, nice.
Who?
Lauren Brill. She used to cover sports for MSG, WIVB Channel 4 in Buffalo, and WEWS Channel 5 in Cleveland. And now
Is she hot?
And now she's good looking. Yeah, and now she has her own media, right, which is pretty sweet.
Bring her on. Bring her on. I can work my magic.
Yeah, by logic.
But no, it'll be cool to have her on though. Definitely looking forward to that. So I'm gonna work out some details. We'll get her on, and we'll do an hour with her on the show, just like we did with Derek Plant, who will get on at some point again, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, bring back Derek Plant. He was great.
Oh, it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So yeah, let's talk about Sabres though. It's a total night and day difference under Granato. 3-0-2 in the last 5. They actually ended up winning against Jersey the other night. They came back. They've actually been coming behind and actually learning how to win games, and they don't even have their top talent.
And this does not change the narrative that Don Granato will not be the coach next year.
I know. He's going to give a hell of an effort, though. He definitely wants to be considered. He's actually not doing bad. But I got to say this, though. The fact that he actually has players finally playing the way that they should, I mean, it was simple. Ralph Kruger had no concept of what a proper system is. He had no clue.
You know what?
He didn't realize his players.
I have a recommendation for a coaching job for the Sabres. That is.
Well, I know yours is Claude Julien.
No. I have a new one.
Okay.
It's Coach Bombay.
I thought you were going to say Bobby's mom for a moment.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to say Dan. Hey, Dan. Dan, do you mind coaching the Sabres? Bro, yeah, sure.
But I was going to say, though, like, honestly, Granato is actually doing a pretty nice job of turning around the team. I mean, they're definitely going to be, like, top 3 for the draft picks this year. But, I mean, at least some of the things I've noticed, they are being more physical. The speed is a lot better. Conditioning is improved. Dowling's finally playing better. Brandon Montour's got, 3 goals in the last, 3 games?
Okay, I'll say this. Can I point at one thing here? I'll point out the most obvious, like the elephant in the room. Granato is not a coach. He's not a coach. He's literally sitting on the bench, and he's like, hey, guys, what do I do? And they're like, oh, we'll just go. And he's letting them play because he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. That's my point. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He's letting them play. He's letting them play.
That's the way it should be.
That's a good thing. I'm not saying it's all negative. I'm just saying that the guy is not a coach. He's not that level of coach. I'm just saying that he's letting them play because he doesn't really know what he's doing.
Right. I mean, I think they've been playing a lot better since they snapped that 18-game losing streak. And Darlene looked like Darlene, and I'm starting to notice too that Middlestat's been counting some numbers too.
Well, dude, it's like the Leafs fucking debacle back in the day with Babcock. They were doing terrible. They weren't fucking playing themselves. And then all of a sudden Babcock got fired. Keefe came in and he let them play. That's all you need to do, man. You wind up a fucking toy, let it go. And then they start playing. Don't fucking withhold them from what they can do.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying earlier, like, I don't think Don Granado, I mean, they're having success, and like you said, he's letting them just play hockey. They're not structuring off of a system that got too complicated, and that was a big problem with Kruger. But with Granado, because he's just in the driver's seat until the end of the month, or at least into the beginning of May, I would suspect that they're going to go out and get an actual NHL coach, because there has to be a point in time where the fans have to put their foot down and say they need to get an actual good NHL coach. And of all the coaches that's been on this team for the last 10 years, the most successful one of the coaches they've been bringing in was Dan Bilesma.
I don't know. But Buffalo being like as young as they are, and you have a lot of young players, and you have your farm team is really young and really good. Don't fuck with it. Stop critiquing it so much and let them play. That's what you have to do.
That's how it's supposed to be, and let the kids play, at least for now. I mean, the Sabres have nothing to play for.
You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose at this point. So go balls to the wall and just fucking go and play.
I think it's kind of pathetic, too, when you look at it. Like, from looking at it from the Sabres' perspective, I think it's kind of pathetic that they're missing Jack Eichel for the majority of the year. They're about to trade Taylor Hall. They just traded Eric Stahl, who's been miserable. And then friggin' Johansson is playing lights out in Colorado. So right there is just enough time for them just to basically just wrap their heads together and just put in some good assets, and hopefully in vain they actually get something in return to help the team going forward. Because again, it's going to come down to who the next coach is going to be. Is it George Waterella? Is it Bruce Boudreau? Is it Nate Lehman? Like, who the hell is going to be the coach?
Claude Julien.
No, I really hope that's not the case. I really hope it's not Claude Julien.
He did pretty good with the Bruins, so.
Yeah, but they fucked him over, and that's the part about it. Is I remember when he got fired, which was on the day of the Patriots Super Bowl parade after they beat Seattle. Julian comes right in, and he's just like, they don't have enough talent. They don't have a clue what they're doing. And this is when they had like Brad Marchand, Tuukka Rask, and the band together. And the Bruins were a directionless car crash team. And this is when they had that little mild streak where they missed 1 or 2 years in the playoffs. And then that was when they fired Julian. And Peter Chiarelli was no better at that point either.
Well, at least you can say that he's a coach that can drive his players. He can motivate his players to win. He did it in Montreal. He did it in Boston.
That's true. But I don't know. I just don't think Claude Julien would be the kind of coach that the Sabres would bring in. But then again, I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of Claude Julien. I just don't think he would be a good fit, or the right coach for that matter. They need someone who can let these guys play, that can live up to their potential, and just have fun and have them come loose and practice and put on a smile every day. That's the kind of coach they can use.
Again, well, I'll bring up the Toronto reference, man. Fucking Keefe came in, young coach, had no idea what he was doing, and then like all of a sudden, boom. The Leafs clicked, right? They let them play. They let them like make their own plays. If you look at Keefe's, like, I follow his like Twitter and stuff, and like his playbook when it comes to like games and stuff is literally like his first, second, and third round fucking lines are ran by his players basically. So they give him ideas. He works around their ideas on what to do in certain plays. So they get to take the puck and do what they want with it.
That's my point. And the Sabres have to find a coach that just does that. It's exactly what Sheldon Keefe is doing in Toronto. They have to get a coach that can play up to that potential.
Well, they just Buffalo's at the point where they don't have, I don't know, they don't have the resources right now to go far or to do much, but they can still win games if the coach lets them play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but when you're playing the same 7 teams throughout the entire year, it's kind of hard to do that. And not to mention, you're stuck in between sandwich with teams like Washington and Pittsburgh and the New York Islanders and Boston, for that matter, to be even competing at that level. I think they can consistently beat New Jersey. They might be able to beat Philadelphia. They might beat the Rangers, but they're not beating any of the 4 teams that are entering the playoffs at this point.
I don't know. There's other teams doing quite well, like Tampa, Florida, Maple Leafs. You know, they're all doing quite well. Yeah, they're all doing quite well.
Definitely. But you know what's really bothering me is, what about the Vancouver Canucks COVID outbreak lately? What's been going on with them?
I have no idea.
Talk about them forfeiting the rest of the season or just throwing it in.
I don't know. I don't know what happened or where it came from or whatever, but they're the only like Canadian-based team that's literally having a struggle.
What it was some kind of virus that came from Brazil and made its way to Vancouver area, and players just caught it like wildfire, including members of their families, is what I remember reading.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say this because you know what? I am totally opposed to the whole pandemic that's happening. And yeah, I'm talking political right now, and everybody can hate me or tell me whatever. But there seems like every fucking day there's a new variant, a new strain, there's new this, new that. But whatever happened, yes, you have to take precautions because of, you know, this life-ending disease that's like like so bad. But whatever happened, yeah, contain it. Yes. Are you going to contain it? No, you're not. And that's the reason the Vancouver Canucks are in the same state they're in now. So I don't know.
Yeah, very true. I mean, only time's going to tell what happens with that. But I mean, that would be like the first time I've ever seen an NHL team actually just throw away the rest of the season. I mean, and granted, there's not that many games left, but still, it's like, there's at least, even if you're still sucking for the season, I mean, at least there's a little bit of thing to play for. It's called self-respect.
Well, if any team should bow out, it should be the Sabres, but they're still in it. So
Yeah, but I think the only margin victory the Sabres would have throughout the second half of the year post deadline would be the fact that they could potentially overcross Anaheim for the second spot in the conference as far as like league wise. Like, instead of being 31st, they could be 30th overall. And honestly, I would rather if they did that, because it actually gives Buffalo a chance to at least get a higher percentage rating of getting the first overall pick. Because in today's NHL, there is no absolute fucking guarantee that you, just because you're the first overall pick or you have the worst record in the league, doesn't automatically mean you're going to get the first overall pick. It all goes by ping pong balls. It goes by stats. It goes by shots per game. It goes by save percentage, all these analytical stuff that people have been talking about for the last 4 or 5 years. And it's like trying to mesh that all together. And that's the projected way of how you win the draft lottery, is based off of games you win or lose. It's kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, and we're really not that far behind Anaheim. I mean, we're really, only 2 points back? I mean, it's really not that far of a jump. And then Anaheim is not that far back either from going up to like 29. So, I mean, the standings it's there for the taking. I mean, we realistically could move up and do so pretty easily. But I was going to say, when I looked at the standings, though, I was looking at the goal differential. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as we speak, Anaheim is actually 29th in the league. The Ottawa Senators are at 30th, and then the Buffalo Sabres are at 31. So really, the worst team in the league is clearly Buffalo, unless they go on like a 6 or 7 game win streak, which is not going to happen, because that's just what the Sabres do. And They're not catching Ottawa. I just don't see the Sabres moving out of their spot unless, God forbid, they actually do something ludicrous like go on a massive win streak. That's the only way I see them getting out of this. But as far as I'm concerned, there's no chance in hell the Sabres are jumping Ottawa at this point.
Whatever. I'll take a top 3 pick. It doesn't matter. Just give me someone that can help this franchise now. I can't be dealing with project first rounders. You need players to come in now, and this team needs to be retooled now in the right way.
That's exactly true.
Well, yeah.
Need
And I
5 years.
swear to God, if they
that.
don't get a backup goaltender, I swear to God, if they don't get a decent backup goaltender, if they do decide to keep Allmark, I'm gonna flip.
I don't know. I think
I think that.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Dude, the Leafs are so like trenched with him right now. They're actually in talks trying to get Allmark so bad.
I know they're trying to get rid of Frederick Anderson. So
No, they're not worried about. They're not getting rid of Frederick Anderson. They're worried about him being ready for the playoffs. So they need somebody that's going to back up Campbell in the playoffs, or just in case he goes down. That's the issue that we're having. And Linus Allmark came up so many times. And this one podcast I watched that they're literally like pursuing Allmark.
The Leafs, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they're literally on his ass. They literally want him.
right.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised either, but I really hope they don't, because I really I mean, Allmark's got still a very good record. I mean, it just shows.
Dude, for being
much-
such a shitty team, yeah, it does.
It just shows that this team needs his kind of caliber. I know he's not. He hasn't been the exact number one that we've been looking for. But the thing is, if they can get another goalie to be just as good as him, it gives us a shot.
I think
That
you guys
Hutton-
shit the bed when you got rid of what's his name?
Stahl.
Miller.
No, when you got rid of the fucking goalie. What's his name? Went to the Islanders. Went to Vegas. So,
Robin Leonard.
Rainer?
Oh yeah.
Robin Leonard, yeah. You shit the bed on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, at the time when they had Leonard, he didn't really have much to show. I mean, I was upset when they gave up a fucking first-round pick. Yeah, that's a massive overpay by Tim Murray. But I wanted to like Leonard, but the problem was he was having some serious mental issues, and nobody even knew about it until after he left the team.
Right.
How can you not have mental issues playing for the Buffalo Sabres?
Right, but no, he had actual mental issues going on. Alcoholism was like another thing he had going on, and plus he was out of shape. I mean, he was almost like at 250 on the skates. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a big dude.
Well, he's done it. He's actually a good goalie though.
Yeah, he's actually finally taken care of a lot of that stuff, and he's actually turned out to be a very good goaltender. I mean, he played well with the Islanders. He's playing great with Vegas. I mean, he's turned out to be someone good. I mean, and I think part of it is he finally took care of like those underlying things that were happening.
Yeah, he had a lot of off
I
ice
just
issues.
wanna- Oh, dude, I kind of feel like Buffalo could have handled it better, and they could have taken care of it better than what they did. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, but I don't
That
know.
was up to him to fix. He needed to fix himself.
Yeah, we actually
Oh,
got
exactly. But Buffalo literally could have helped them better than what they did.
yeah, and what happened is Murray overpaid in a lot of cases. But we actually do have some comments going on. So basically we've got a couple of likes in the chat. Jim Carpy says, "Love you, cuz."
Who's that?
Jim Carpy.
Yes, that's my cousin.
Cool. Call in if you want. We've got the info in the chat.
Yeah, stop being a little bitch. Stop being a little bitch. So come on in here. Come on.
He's a big Sabres and big Bills fan. He's actually, I don't know if he's still in the Army, but he was in the Army.
Nice.
Not a boy.
But he-
Bring him in. Come on.
He's one hell of a guy. I'll tell you that much.
Very
Oh,
cool.
I'm certain of that.
Well,
He's
first of all,
already my brother. He's already my brother. I served 10 years Armed Forces, Canadian Armed Forces. Come on in, let's talk.
Well, thank you.
very, very good, man. Thank you
Believe
for your
that.
service, of course. And then, really, besides that, I mean, when you look at the top 100 in the draft right now, I mean, it's really, I don't know what to say. There's not necessarily a clear consensus number one, but I don't think is necessarily as good of a draft as what we've seen in past years. And I mean, with what you're looking at, I mean, you have Matt Beniers, a center out of Michigan right now. You have Dylan Gunther, William Eklund, Luke Hughes, basically in your top four. You have Brent Clark, Owen Power. I know we've talked about him a few times, defenseman for Michigan. Fabian Lissell, Jesper Wallstedt, Kent Johnson, and Matthew Coronado. So it's like the top 10. I don't know what to say about them this year. It's not like we've seen in years past where there's been like a superstar top 10.
There's no franchise players in that mix. There's none.
Right.
But I think what I was gonna say was I think looking at it from a deeper perspective, you have Matt Beniers, you have Owen Power, and then you have Luke Hughes. And that was a player Tom forgot to mention was Luke Hughes is available in this draft too. But also keep in mind Seattle's coming in, so the expansion draft or the draft lottery itself is going to get much bigger.
Right.
There's no franchise players whatsoever though. There's literally elite, possibly elite players coming into the league, but it's going to take years to form those players. So I don't know. I don't think it's too big of a deal of a draft.
Yeah, me either. I mean, it's definitely not as big as we've seen in years past.
It's not an equal draw. It's not a fucking Matthews. It's not a McDavid. It's not anything close to that.
No McKinnon.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, your top three players cannot be project players. These guys have to be ready to go the next year players. They got to be that good.
Yeah. Well, fuck, you look at the draft of Matthews. Matthews was like the player of the, like, you know, other McDavid. He was like the player of the century.
Yeah, he was
like that.
number one.
And then Eichel and, you know, guys like that. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get players like that every draft. They only come along every like fucking 5 years, possibly.
Right.
Yeah. Either they're ready to go or they're 1 year out from being ready to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right. I mean, before that, I mean, you look at the draft when Ovechkin and Crosby were drafted, and you had the two guys ready to go right then and there. And I mean, that was over 10 years ago.
Well, that's the same with Matthews and Eichel. It was like there was no doubt in anybody's mind that those two players weren't ready to go right off the hop. They were NHL ready right off the hop. There was no question to send them down for a fucking season or anything like that. Like Matthews played when he was like 15, he was playing in a Swiss league with grown men. Like there was no doubt in anybody's mind that he was going to be NHL ready.
Yeah.
Jack Eichel, he was NHL ready even before he even started. He was ready. Like, you know, like players like that won't come along every year.
Yeah,
No, not a chance.
Yep, very true. Yeah, and actually it's kind of interesting. We've you know, with what we've talked about so far, we've actually already gone the first hour of the show. So I'm gonna open it up. I mean, of course, we've got the calls going on, and we've got the people that can call in. So, and I was gonna say, and Jim actually mentions in the chat, I don't have the heart to talk about the Sabres right now. So what? Call in anyways.
Hey, how about we talk about Sam Darnold? Come on in.
Oh, wait. No, wait. Now you're a fucking hypocrite because you first said that you didn't want anybody to say his name. Then you yelled at me for it. Now
I'm
you say you
allowed
want
to, though. It's my team. I'm allowed to. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just busting your balls. I'm just...
Call him Project Zero.
Yeah, Project Zero. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to come in, tell me one positive about Sam Darnold going to the Panthers. Come on in. Don't have to talk about the Bills or the Sabres. Nothing. Just come on in and talk about how bad of a trade that was.
Right. Yeah, we can talk about any sports, really. I mean, there's also baseball that came up. I mean, of course, the Major League Baseball opened up. Of course, Washington and COVID, they had a hell of a start to the season.
You want to talk about some ping pong? Come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we actually have a free agent signing. It's a defensive back by the name of JT Ibe. I think it's spelled IBE, but he plays out of South Carolina, and he went undrafted out of the past draft, and he's going to sign a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, at least his name's not Forrest Lamp.
Yeah, JT Ibe, I think that's his name, and he was an undrafted player out of South Carolina last year. So he's going to the Panthers. He's staying in the state of Carolina, or at least, and that's what we're respecting. And I already mentioned earlier about AJ Boye going to the Carolina Panthers. That's a move I'm very surprised by because I thought Boye would go to a contender, but it seems like to me he's going to Charlotte.
What do you mean? You're saying that Carolina isn't a contender?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying that there are.
You want to fight? You want to fight, bro? You want to fucking punch in the mouth there, bud?
No, I'm saying like I'm just surprised. I mean, AJ Boye could go wherever he wants. It's his choice. But what I'm saying is like I like the Panthers' chances of making the playoffs next year, even with Darnold. But like, I'm just
no, patient zero.
Okay.
Well, we've got a couple other things that are going on in the NFL, and first, actually, the Chicago Bears are trying to get rid of Anthony Miller, their receivers. So basically, with what's happening right now, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported earlier today that the Bears have been discussing a trade involving Miller with a wide variety of teams. So basically, what happened? He was a former second-round pick. He's entering the final year of his rookie contract. 134 receptions and 47 games played. So he had 1,564 yards and 11 touchdowns in 3 seasons. So basically what they're trying to do is trade him before the new league year to get the Bears under the salary cap. And right now, I mean, the Bears are so screwed up with their salary cap. I mean, it's just cap casualty is basically what it was. But the thing that Miller's known for, the way that he ended up ending his season was when he got ejected for punching out safety Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the loss to the Saints.
What a way to go out.
Yep. Oh wow.
You know what? The Panthers seem to be taking all the fucking lost puppies, so we'll take them too. Fuck it.
Right. Wait, so who's McCaffrey's backup?
He does. There's no backup. It's like saying who's the backup or Chuck Norris.
No, because
There's no backup. There is no fucking backup for Christian McCaffrey. None.
You know what I mean. Well, what I'm saying is
there is no backup. What are you talking about?
Because the only reason I brought this up is because I just found out that Giovanni Bernard got released earlier this morning by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh,
Okay.
So the Bengals are becoming more of a dumpster fire.
Who, Bernard?
There's no backup for Christian McCaffrey. Again, that's like backing up Chuck Norris. Not happening.
Yep. And I also What do we got?
Pierre LeBrun thinks Tyler Bozak could be on the move out of St. Louis before the deadline ends Monday.
Is he going back to the Leafs?
No, I said if he's going to go, he's going to go in that Hall trade if he goes to St. Louis.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'd love to have him back at the Leafs.
Good, pretty good player.
I love Bozy. I always loved Bozy. He's such a good guy.
Right. Now here's another thing that came out, and Andy, you'll probably have some comments on this. The Lakers are watching Justin Fields throw at OSU's second pro day.
Wait, what was that?
That's better than your other option.
Yeah, Justin Fields. So basically what happened.
No!
Yeah, the 49ers are actually watching.
No!
And the 49ers are expected to attend his pro day.
Yeah! Torture for Andy!
Hey, whatever. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine, go look at him.
Yeah,
That's
Better
and guess what?
Better than your fucking other option.
And guess what, Andy? Coach Kyle Shanahan and GM John Lynch will be there to watch him throw.
Oh dear.
Fine, whatever. Go watch him. That better not be your damn pick.
Yeah.
Well, what's your other option, Andy?
Trey Lance, motherfucker. That's who.
No, the other option.
Jones.
Exactly. So I don't know. What's your worst of two evils? Mac Jones or fucking Justin Fields?
Well, I'll have to go with the lesser of two evils. It would probably be Mac Jones, I would think. I don't know.
Exactly. This is why we're friends. This is why we're
That's
friends.
right.
It's actually pretty funny that I actually get to watch two of our best friends on this show go at it, and talking about who has the shittiest quarterback. I mean, we have one guy who got drunk over a trade. We have another guy getting drunk over a college prospect in Alabama with all the talent around him.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't know how anybody could have like say it's a bad thing for me to be pissed off at all.
I
Please,
mean,
if there's any Panthers fans out there, please send me the olive branch and be like, "Hey, Adam, it's okay. It's okay to be mad because the Panthers fucked up."
They did fuck up. And I think my team's about to do the same fucking thing.
Right. And then we also have some
I'm
other
scared, man. I'm scared.
right. But we also have some, yeah, but I was gonna say we do have some Deshaun Watson news. So yeah, Nike has basically told him to piss off because they suspended his endorsement after the nice little countless numbers of sexual misconduct allegations now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, but in my opinion, if you walk into an Asian massage parlor, the first thing you think is like, "Hey, if I pull my dick out, I'm probably gonna get it sucked or rubbed." That's the inclination of what he had. He was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm here. I might as well pull my dick out."
Yep.
basically.
And apparently, Deshaun Watson's up to 22 accusers now.
This
Oh,
is
of course he
ridiculous.
is. They're all gonna come out to Warworks and be like, "Oh yeah, he showed me his dick too."
But
It's so
How it always
fucking-
goes.
But here we go. All 22 are being represented by the same attorney, Tony Busby. So that's
Of
what
course they are.
God.
Of course they are.
NFL Network's Mike Garofalo ended up reporting, and then Watson has Rusty Harden representing him. And basically now the Houston Police Department is investigating Watson after someone filed a complaint with them about it. So it's very interesting what the Texans are now saying because their chairman, Kel McNair, who and his family owns the team, basically they're just saying they're aware of the lawsuits and that they take, quote, these allegations very seriously, end quote.
Okay. So he went to an Asian rub and tug a few times and got his dick wet, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, we get money," and then all of a sudden, yeah, there's lawsuits.
Yeah. But apparently now, here's the other thing. Reliant Energy. Now, Reliant Energy is the naming rights sponsor of Reliant. Well, they're also known as NRG, and they're actually the naming rights sponsor of Energy Stadium. And they said, quote, Reliant is aware of pending civil lawsuits and a criminal investigation involving Deshaun Watson, Houston Texans quarterback. Our relationship with Watson as a brand ambassador was scheduled to end this spring prior to these allegations, and there are no plans for future engagements or contracts with them. We take accusations of this nature very seriously. With respect to the legal process, we do not have any further comment on this matter.
It's unbelievable how many players lose like endorsements and stuff just because one person says something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and what's even more crazy is not only did Nike tell him to fuck off, but also Beats by Dre told him to fuck off too.
Right. And
Did he have any proof whatsoever?
As of now, no. I mean, so far they said that he's innocent, but again, when you have 22 allegations against you for sexual assault, they have to probably
It's not sexual assault. It's like harassment at best, and they literally have zero fucking like evidence towards the guy. Zero.
As of right now, he's innocent, but unless they prove otherwise, he's innocent till proven guilty. That's how I look at it.
Well, congratulations on your fucking lawsuits. Cause you fuck Carolina of a fucking quarterback. Fuck you guys. Fuck all y'all.
Yeah, so wait, so you wanted to trade for Deshaun Watson, who's under a criminal investigation, yet the Panthers looked at it and it's like, we want Watson, but it's like, if it weren't for these allegations, maybe we'd get a shot at him. No, let's go for Sam.
You know what? I'll weigh the options right here. I'll weigh them. I'll say, hey, on the left hand, there's all these allegations building up and stuff. You know, it kind of looks bad on the team, betrayed for him. On the other side, it's like Super Bowl. Yeah, fuck that shit, Super Bowl.
It's very possible, but now it's pretty much a dead dream at this point. Now
No. What we have is literally. Do you hear that? Do you hear it? Nothing. We have nothing.
I've known you for a long time, almost 6 years, mate, and I think this is the most angry. I've seen you get pissed, but this is probably the most angry I have ever seen you get regarding whether it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Toronto Blue Jays, or the Carolina Panthers. This is the funniest shit I have ever seen come out of your mouth.
Right. I will say this, Adam. You know, I am glad you were on this show tonight, and I mean, we're glad to have you every week, but like, really tonight with this whole thing, I gotta say, this is the most animated I've ever seen you, and I've known you over 5 years now. So.
Dude, I don't know. It hit like when that trade happened. It was like, like a couple years ago, I didn't really care that much about the Panthers. Like it was like, oh, I watched it. Like when Bobby and me decided what team I should cheer for, I literally picked the Panthers because of Cam Newton, and it was. And I just thought Cam Newton was a fucking great guy. He's a fucking great quarterback. He's fucking one of those players that even if he's shit, he's a people person. He's a player for the people. And even now to this day, he still is. But I don't know. The first couple of years I didn't really care. I have always like paid attention to the NFL.
Right.
And I've watched it, but I've never ever like took a team and then Bobby convinced me to like, hey, pick a team, and you know it'll grow on you or it doesn't grow on you. So I picked the Panthers, and the first 2 years, yeah, it was like literally like who gives a fuck basically. And then it started to grow on me, and then I seen Christian McCaffrey, and I was like, oh my god, if I was gay, this guy would be my husband. And then like I don't know, like. I seen the team grow. I seen the team like go up to its heights at its best point. I seen the team fucking, you know, get trashed by the Saints, get trashed by the Bucks, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is terrible. What a terrible idea. What a terrible pick for a team. But the team is all around is a great bunch of guys. They're in it to win, and that to me speaks for me because. Again, everybody knows I'm a Leafs fan. Everybody knows I'm a Jays fan. I'm a Raptors fan, although I don't really care about basketball. But they're the only team outside of all the rest of the sports that I watch that I actually care about. So that's saying a lot, right? So I don't know. They grew on me a lot. And when that trade happened, it was just like it made my skin crawl. It was so bad. It was so bad and made my skin crawl. And that's when I knew I was like, oh my God, I'm a diehard Panthers fan now. Like you're not a fan of a team overnight. You're not a fan of a team overnight. You literally have to like watch them. You have to watch them grow and you have to like go through the ups and downs. And yeah, I watched the Panthers go up and down the last few years. And when they made that trade, that made me fucking angry. It did.
That's what I'm saying is like, again, because I mean, I take a lot of pride to what I did 5-6 years ago. I'll never forget that conversation. And I remember it was a bracket and we went down by a team and it was all random too. And it was down to Carolina and it was down to Pittsburgh. And you chose Carolina, which I thought was pretty smart of you because Pittsburgh's going down a big hill and they're really going down quick. So I think since then it's really grown on me. It was probably my job to make sure that everything was in priority straight. And I wanted to be sure everything's on top, everything you were just pretty much getting the information you needed to get all that stuff going. And then I said to you from there, it all starts with just picking a team. And then you go from there, you look at the rosters, you study the film, and you get 6 to 8 months to figure this out. And then once you actually digest the team for a few years, it's like, wow, I've really convicted myself to be a fan of a team. Because it's like once you do that, you never go back.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because like if you're here in Canada, it's like you have certain teams people go for. So they're like, I know in Sarnia, there's like I see stickers on people's windshields for the Cowboys, and I'm just like, why? You have Dak Prescott. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyways, I see stickers for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, and I see a lot of Steelers fucking stickers, and then I see a lot of fucking Brown stickers, and I'm like, who the fuck cheers for the Browns? And so I went out and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. So I put a fucking Carolina Panthers sticker on my back windshield of my truck.
Yeah, really?
Oh, dude, it's like the full back windshield of my truck.
Is it the classic logo or is it the one they currently have?
The one they have right now.
Oh, cool. You never told me that.
Yeah, and so I go up to the lights one day, and this one person pulls up behind me, and I hear him honking the horn. I'm like, why is he honking the fucking horn at me? The light's still red. And I look back, and the guy's looking at the window. He has a Carolina Panthers hat on. He's like, holy fuck, there's more than one of us in fucking Sarnia. I'm like, yeah, go Panthers.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. Here's some interesting news. Tyrod Taylor's on the move again.
Now what?
He signed.
Where's he going? The XFL or what?
Oh, Houston Texans. He ended up signing a 1-year contract.
That's a month old.
Yeah, no shit.
Why did you tell us that?
No, it's because I absolutely can't stand Tyrod Taylor. So I figured, just
I thought he was going to the XFL at this point.
Yeah, he probably will. And speaking of the XFL, the Carolina Panthers actually signed a player from the Tampa Bay Vipers from the XFL, and he's an offensive tackle by the name of Artez Ivy, who's definitely a practice squad player.
Yeah, and he was like the top 30 in the fucking XFL picks of whatever it was.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be a good fill-in if we need him.
Like I said, as much as I really take pride in what I did with you 5-6 years ago with the whole Carolina Panthers thing, I'm very happy. That was probably one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever done in my life. No joke.
Oh my god.
What? What's up?
Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that was probably one of the biggest accomplishments in my life of anybody. Because every time I tried to get somebody into something else, it's just like, it's a phase, and then they don't ever do it again. But with Adam, it was completely different. I knew there was potential there. And I said to him, and I convinced him, I forgot what I said to you. And it was something like, hey, there's multiple teams out there where you can pick from. It's not just Pittsburgh and Dallas because everybody's going to pick that. Why don't you pick somebody that will actually fit within your personality? That's usually how I break it down. And then, sure enough, Carolina came in the way, and since then I'm just kind of just keeping track on them. And actually, it's a pretty good reason why I follow the Panthers is because of Adam.
Oh, Bobby. I love you, buddy.
Oh, I know I do. But I was so dire to ask you about that Darnold trade. And I knew right away. I didn't know what your response was going to be when I first sent that text out. I didn't know if it was going to be a good thing or a bad thing because we never talked about Darnold. So I was thinking he probably wants Watson. And then I see Darnold's name come up. I'm like, oh, God, I got to send this to him. Click. I send it to you.
I got the tweet from Panthers feed on Twitter, and I didn't I seen it. It gave me a notification. I didn't look at it, and because of that work. But as soon as you told me to open it up, I was like, oh no, please no, please God no.
And then.
Although Adam, I will tell you though, Jim Carpey ended up jumping in the chat again, and of course, when you said that you love Bobby because he got you to pick the Panthers, apparently Jim has another opinion. He just said flat out, no one gives a shit about the Panthers.
Oh, ouch! All right, that's cool, man. Nobody cares about the Panthers, but you know, we still have fans, and we take your opinion lightly, and you know,
I like the
God
Panthers.
bless.
Run away because I like Luke Kuechly.
Ugh, fuck you
really
and
did
fuck
though.
Luke Kuechly.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
still
people
remember back
back
when
in
they
the
had
day.
Jeremy Shockey.
Jeremy Shockey, I forgot about them. Steve Smith, he was another great one.
Yeah, Steve Smith. Yeah, another
Jake
good one.
Delhomme.
Kuechly never played for the Panthers. He's never fuck that guy.
Greg Olson was a good tight end.
Oh yeah, okay, he's fine. No Luke Kuechly though. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, we won't talk about Jake Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, Super Bowl quarterback Panthers against the New England Patriots.
Jake
Yeah.
Delhomme.
Yeah.
Good old Jakey boy.
Oh, here's some reports. According to Columbus, Captain Nick Foligno is open to a trade. However, GM Jarmo Kekalainen will not make a move without his approval. Also, Mike Hoffman is a healthy scratch for the Blues tonight, and they are believed to be taking trade offers on him as we speak.
I was saying another thing that came out of there.
Come on, give it the least, Lino.
Great. Indy, I was going to say Delzato wants to stay with Columbus too.
Hoffman, eh? Hoffman.
Yep, I'll take a Hoffman for Hall. I don't care.
He's a good player.
Yes, he's a very good player.
He's a good third string fucking player for sure.
I wanted him in free agency, but Taylor Hall was a better option apparently.
Oh man, I don't understand why Foligno is not on that fucking list. He should be a healthy scratcher though, because I think he's moving.
Yeah, he might be. If he's open for a trade, then I'm sure he would be.
Right.
Why not? I mean, there's plenty of options out there. I mean, who the hell knows what's gonna happen? I mean, it's the deadline. There's always suspicion about who goes where, and then it just so happens to just blossom together into something big.
Right. Anyway,
Hey,
why don't you tell us about
who's that guy? Who's the guy that was commenting? What's his name?
Oh, who? Andy's cousin Jim?
Yeah, the guy that said the Panthers are like nobody cares about the Panthers.
Yeah, Jim Carpenter. Andy's cousin.
Hey, why don't you stop being a little bitch and get on the fucking call here, bud? Come on. Come on in.
Hey, there was nothing for me to tell him to say that. That's all him.
You did that. You did this, didn't you?
Nope, not at all.
Oh,
Come on, Andy.
although I will say this, Jim actually asks a pretty good question here, and I'll put this up to everybody. Yes, is it wrong that he gets moderately angry when a Buffalonian says they're anything other than a Bills fan?
What was the question?
So Andy's cousin Jim ends up asking, is it wrong that he gets moderately angry when a Buffalonian says they are anything other than a Bills fan?
Well, they're not a Buffalo fan? Is that what he's saying?
But they're not a Bills fan.
No, anything other
Okay.
than a Bills fan.
Is it wrong?
No, I don't think it is.
I don't know. I mean, it really just depends on the person. I mean, if you're a diehard Sabres fan, then you have every reason to be angry at them. But if you're another fan of a team of somewhere else, then obviously that it really just depends on the person. I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, look at us. We're Sabres fans, except for Adam. And then all of a sudden, we're all been fucking miserable for 10 years.
Okay, but is it wrong to be okay? So that's the same as being like in Montreal and being like, is it wrong to be a Leafs fan in Montreal?
Well,
No.
Montreal would be. Well, according to Montreal,
You'd be gang beat. You'd literally be gang beat every fucking day. If you flew a fucking Toronto fan inside your fucking window, you'd be beat to death.
Right.
But
well, I was
it's
gonna-
not wrong. It's not wrong to be a fan of a different team when you're in a certain area. No, fuck no.
Exactly. I mean, it's like I have a longtime friend of mine I've known since I was in third grade. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but he lives here.
Jimmy, are you drinking over there? Are you drinking? You mad at me or something? Jesus.
You drunk? You
No,
bitch.
but no, I was gonna say it's like to each their own. Like whatever team you want to support, by all means, go ahead and support.
He knows this, I think. I think he knows this.
Dude, like if anybody knows, Bobby knows, I know Tom knows, Andy, I don't know if you know. I'm a big fucking Josh Allen fan. Like, I'm not no homo. I love the guy. I think he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the fucking league.
Damn straight.
I'm not a Bills fan.
Right.
But I like Bills players. I like Stephon Diggs. He's a stud.
Yeah.
I love fucking Josh Allen, obviously. And I like fucking what's his name? The wide receiver.
Cole Beasley, Emmanuel
Cole
Sanders.
Beasley.
Oh, Cole Beasley.
Yeah. That like I love players on the Buffalo Bills, man, but it doesn't make me a Bills fan, but it doesn't make me like not a fan of players in general.
Right.
Like, and it's the same argument with me. I mean, I'm a Bills fan, and I live in New York State. I live in Long Island, but I like the Carolina Panthers. They're not my favorite team, but I love Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all have favorite players from different teams. We all like have our teams and our second favorite teams and our third favorite teams at the very least.
Yeah, I mean,
Same with hockey.
I understand.
yeah, exactly.
Bills Mafia is big time here. If you're not a Bills fan, you're an asshole. I get it.
Right. I mean,
You don't want to get jumped for being like, "Hey, I'm a Chiefs fan and a Bills fan." You probably get stabbed.
I get tons of shit sent my way for being a 49ers fan because I'll talk my shit. And I talked my shit through the entire 17 years of the Bills drought. I was like, fuck you. You're never going to get out of it.
right. Yeah. I mean,
And I talked that because as much as I do like the Bills, they are my second favorite team. But when it comes to my number one in the 49ers, it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm really curious, Andy. I'm actually really curious, and I meant to ask you this. How did you even – I mean, you're a Western New Yorker guy, right? You're from Buffalo. How did you even become a 49ers fan?
When I was young, I just became a really big fan of Steve Young. He was my favorite quarterback when I was 8 years old. And I also was a big Ricky Waters fan, and it was just before they won the Super Bowl in 94, 95, 95, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And just been a fan ever since. And of course Jerry Rice, but I'm not gonna make it because of Jerry Rice. Steve Young was my favorite quarterback as a kid.
that's great.
It's a fair argument. I like the Niners, but I just think they're just so mediocre. I'm sorry. I know they made the Super Bowl last year, and I wanted them to win the Super
You
Bowl.
weren't even relevant until like 2 years ago. Shut up.
Oh, come on. You weren't even relevant for 25, so let's not go that route.
Still went further than you.
True, but the Bills have 4 Super Bowl appearances.
In a row.
How old's your team though?
Older than the Panthers, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, a lot older.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot older.
Yeah. But
All I know is my team has 5 rings. That's all I know.
Yep.
Yeah. Bling bling. Bling bling.
great.
But the only thing memorable for me and the modern generation about the 49ers is the fact they got an ass beating by Joe Flacco.
Oh God, I remember that.
Well, everybody's got the beating for Joe Flacco.
That's America's quarterback right there. Joe fucking Flacco, man.
Right.
What about Dan Marino? That's the team that asked us went from them too. So,
Or how about,
like
or everyone remembers the good old feel-good story of Kurt Warner, the former grocery store bagger who turned a quarterback and won a Super Bowl.
oh my God, that's the most hallmark story of football there ever was.
yeah, that's a true story.
He goes into the league. He ends up winning with the St. Louis Rams at the time, and what he did before football was he bagged groceries for a full-time job.
Hey, you know what? I don't feel so bad at the Zamboni driver beating Toronto anymore.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
I loved it though. It was like a hallmark moment for the NHL. I didn't even like feel mad. I was like, that guy came in out of nowhere.
That was
And-
hilarious.
It was like a wake up call. It was like, how bad is your team right now?
But I was like, only the Leafs. Only that would happen.
Yeah, it only happened to the Leafs. Just make them look bad. That's all.
Of course it is. Anything to get them going.
but even like going back to like favorite players on other teams, I mean, one of the things, and actually, Bobby, you know this. Eddie, I don't think you do. I know Adam, you know this. But I actually had accepted a job in Pittsburgh back in '07, and I actually had an apartment, was ready to move in. was pretty much set. Lost the job 3 days before I was set to move in, so basically ended up like losing a month out of the apartment. But what happened is, I mean, I follow the Steelers and the Penguins down there. I've actually seen live games down there, and I mean, always respected the Steelers. I mean, I definitely have like that little soft spot with them. And yes, I do have a terrible towel, so I will admit it. But at the same time, I mean, back in the day, I mean, I liked following Donovan McNabb actually when he was playing with the Eagles back at the time. And it's just one of those, I mean, always wanted to see him actually win a title. And I mean, unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I mean, he was one of those QBs, you know, same thing, liked following him. And I mean, Shockey, I liked following when he was playing. And then,
I like Shockey.
Yeah. And then I looked at some other players back at the time. I mean, family in Tennessee, Steve McNair, I followed a little bit. Jerry Rice, I followed back in the day. And, I mean, of course, who could ever forget Barry Sanders when he was around?
Who was that controversial fucking like wide receiver for the Eagles? What's his name?
Harold Owens.
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Fuck T.O., man. Fuck him.
I just remember him like going on like a media talk, and I'm just like, you don't see these things. Stop. No, shut up. Stop talking. Like he literally said everything you shouldn't have said in the media talk.
Yeah, remember when he got fined for that touchdown celebration when he hid that Sharpie in the cell phone in the field goal pad?
Oh, so dumb. That's where like I get it. Like you want to celebrate, but like that's where it got super fucking dumb.
Right, he got grand or something.
No, you know what's one that's really offensive from T.O. was when he played for the 49ers and they had a national televised game against the Dallas Cowboys, and every time T.O. scored a touchdown, he would go right in the middle of the center field and he would just pretty much mock the Dallas Cowboys logo. And by the time he got to the 50-yard line, all the players on San Francisco came out and wanted to rip his head off, and then a massive line brawl came out between the two because T.O. wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah,
I remember. Okay, so I'll switch to the NHL. The one time that Ovechkin, when he scored like his, maybe it was like his 50th first goal season, and he literally hovered over the stick and started doing like the Houdini thing. I don't know if everyone ever seen that. And it was against like a third string goalie that was literally brought in that had no experience whatsoever. He was literally like, you know what, like it would have been disrespectful, but Ovi did it. But he literally hovered over the stick and like everybody started coming around it, putting their hands over it, and like go to lift the stick basically. But like it was, you can look it up on Google. Like the guy on YouTube, the guy literally like embarrassed the shit of this fucking goalie. He was literally doing like the whole hand lift thing over the stick, and the whole team joined in and like embarrassed this fucking goalie. And he felt so bad that he literally like gave the guy money after the fact.
Jesus.
Because he realized he was such a tool.
Although actually we could say in an argument Sean Avery was an embarrassment to the NHL when he was around.
Oh, God. Fuck that guy. Fuck
Yeah,
that
he was
guy.
a douche.
Yeah, he seriously was. But
There's no player. There's no player. And I put him on a category of how bad of a player he is or how shitty of a player he is.
Right.
He's up there, like he's on the top above Brad Marchand. So like, yeah, no. Yeah. Fuck Avery. Fuck Avery.
Yeah. I mean, at least when you talk about the Rat Marchand, at least you're talking about a quality player that, you know, could back up his mouth when he chirps and, you know, does his dumb bullshit. He will back it up.
Avery had like zero value.
Yeah, he was nothing special.
John Avery was just a fucking he's just like a fucking pus-spilled piece of shit that should have been took at the league in the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of players like that back in the day. I mean, Sean Avery, Todd Bertuzzi, Darcy Tucker, Matthew Barnaby. Who else was there?
Did something. At least Tucker scored goals. What did the fucking Avery do?
Avery did nothing, but you know what? He got kicked off the Dallas Stars for whatever allegation he had against his ex-girlfriend at the time.
Oh, when he had
Tucker was a fighter, and he scored, and he agitated.
Right.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, even looking back, I mean, Jordan Tutu from the Nashville Predators, and then who eventually played with the Devils. I mean, in Detroit, actually. I mean, his number one thing was beating the hell out of all comers, but he actually could score goals. He could actually play somewhat on defense if he needed to.
I love when he played in Detroit and get the 2-2 train.
Yeah.
2-2.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, and Tutu is actually one of those players. As much as I hated playing against him, like whenever the Sabres would play him, I loved what he could do. He was one of those players that stood out, and I absolutely loved what he could do in the game.
And he wasn't even a big player. He's a small player.
5'9" or something. I mean, he was not a big guy at all. Like 5'9", maybe like 180 something.
Some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
He literally scored hands with anybody.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be. He wasn't afraid to fight people like George Larac or Bugard or any of those guys. I mean, he didn't care who they were. It's like, hey, drop the gloves if you want some. Come get some.
He was brought up on gas and fucking sniffing gas. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, his big thing was that he wanted to, of course. I mean, he wanted to change what the game was, and I mean, I still remember the time when he ended up KOing when he did the one punch KO to Brad Malone, and then of course him and Cody McLeod was another good fight. I mean, like literally, like. He has a pretty good list of like people that he took on over his career.
Yep.
I would love nothing more than one of the Kachuk brothers. I would love one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't.
anything, you know what I'd take Brady.
You take Brady?
I would.
I'll take either one. I don't care. Those are the kind of boys that I want to see on at least one of them on the Sabres. They need it. They need a player like that.
I kind of feel like the Calgary Chuck is like too much of a like. He's a hardy player. He fucking likes to get in and fucking get gritty and shit. But he's a little bitch. He's whiny.
Oh, Matt Kachuk.
Yeah, I like Brady. I like Brady better.
I wasn't too thrilled about watching Brady go after friggin' Draisaitl tonight. I was kind of like, dude, leave him alone. I need him for fantasy.
He doesn't give a fuck though. He fucking fights more than his fucking older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, but actually, it was kind of interesting. Like jumping back to Tutu for a moment. Some of the rivals, like the big fights he had. I mean, he ended up fighting Jared Ball multiple times. Derek Dorsett, Brandon Hobbits, like
Dorsett. That's a big fucking guy.
Punching bag. Yeah, Ole Christian Tollefson. He fought multiple times. Robert Bertuzzo, Steve Beggin, Chris Thorburn, Kendall McCardle, and Jason Chimera were like his top rivals. He fought all of those guys at least 2 or 3 times apiece.
And they're all like fucking 6 or 7 inches taller than the fucking guy.
Yeah. And that's the thing. He didn't care who he fought. He would just drop the gloves and fight.
Oh, he's like a modern day fucking Domi.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he also fought. Well, here's the other thing, too. He fought Chris Neal. He fought Ryan Reeves, Ryan Wilson.
Oh, dude, you want to see, speaking of Neal, want to see some epic fights? Go back and look at Darcy Tucker and Neal go at it. Battle Ontario.
Man.
Those were some fucking back and forth fucking fights.
Right. Or remember the one time it was Downey versus Bolaris and it was the one punch knockout in Dallas?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'll tell you the best fight to watch of all time. Literally search up McCabe versus Chara.
I think I remember you.
And Chara, McCabe literally comes up to him like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna do this. Really?" And then like Chara like bounces him off the ice like a fucking beach ball. It's actually fucking hilarious.
Right. Although here's a good one, Adam, and you'll probably remember this, and you guys, I think I've talked about it a little bit here on the show, but Adam, Montreal versus Quebec at the Forum back in '84. You ever hear of the Good Friday Massacre?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
What hockey fan does not know the Good Friday Massacre?
Oh, that was epic.
Oh yeah. that let's just say a ton of people got ejected out of that game, and it actually
Didn't he shut the lights off the fucking building on that one?
yeah. Well, here's what
Oh God.
yeah. So literally, like the way it happened when it was 20 minutes into the second period. But I mean, there were a ton of penalties that led up to it. So of course, I mean, 20 minutes of the second period, Dale Hunter got ejected. D. Carbonneau roughing. Mark Hunter ejected for fighting. Jean Hamel roughing. Mike Maphee ejected for fighting. Mario Tremblay ejected for fighting. Richard Sevigny ejected for fighting. Wally Weir ejected for fighting. Peter Stastny ejected for fighting. Lewis Slater ejected for fighting. Clint Malarchuk got a game misconduct and for fighting. And then Randy Moeller ejected. And well, he got two misconducts off of that. Chris Nealon also got a double major misconduct and a game misconduct for fighting. All at the 20-minute mark. So, if anyone wants to watch a good fight, that's a good one to watch.
No, dude, literally check out the McCabe and Chara fight, though. It's funny to watch.
Yeah,
It's so fucking funny. Because McCabe knows as he's going into this, he's like, oh, fuck. You can see the look on his face. He's like, oh, shit. And then Chara just grabs him and just ragdolls him like a fucking beach ball off the fucking ice 3 times.
Yeah, he knew he was screwed. It actually, one of the things we talked about in the pre-show before now, but this is actually being announced right now by WIBB and Buffalo. But the 97 Rock firings after the whole Rob Lederman incident, well, basically everybody on the morning show just got fired.
Oh goody.
Why?
Well, it was the whole toast incident.
See, I don't know what actually happened there. So that's why I'm asking why. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so I'll go over the story a little bit, and actually I'm just bringing up I'm bringing up the latest link on it, but there were racist on-air comments that were made, and what had happened last month is that Rob Lederman was fired on March 24th, and this is when he compared how he liked his toast to women's skin tones during the morning show. And he also used a racial slur. So then what had happened is at that time, Rob Lederman was immediately fired, later that day. And then Bull, which is Rich Gensler, and then Chris Klein were also suspended at the time. So then Cumulus Media ended up mentioning earlier today that they said upon further consideration following the racist incident that occurred on the Morning Bull show, we decided to terminate the entire morning show in addition to the program director. So yeah, all of them are gone.
I don't get it. Come on, though. Like, Jesus Christ, the guy wasn't out to be racist. It doesn't make any sense.
No. But
like, there's so fucking many fucking snowflakes that are, hey, by the way, fuck you snowflakes. Like, stay in your fucking cocoons and don't come out anymore if you can't take a joke. For fuck's sake.
But apparently what happened is Rob Lederman ended up doing an apology on Twitter later on afterwards. And the whole incident was actually by Marcel Louis Jacques who goes by hashtag Marcel_LJ. But from there, I mean, he had it on there, and Lederman said it sounded awful. But then what happened is 97 Rock lost a crap ton of money, including advertisers such as Roswell Park, West Hair Automotive Group. The mayor, Byron Brown, denounced the entire thing. And then actress Halle Berry also ended up coming out and responding to it. So in either case, it pissed off a bunch of people.
Yeah. So Adam, let me ask you a Toronto Blue Jays question. Do you remember that brawl that happened a couple years ago between the Blue Jays and the Texas Rangers regarding what's his face, Rougned Odor and Jose Bautista?
Yep.
Well, I have some news for you, buddy, and it just came out. and it's being reported by Jeff Passan of MLB Network that Rougned Odor has been traded to the New York Yankees.
Oh, Rougned Odor got traded?
Yeah, he got traded to the New York Yankees.
Wow. I still remember
That's
when
what
he had that
Odor.
brawl against he had that huge brawl against the Texas Rangers. I remember that one time where he ended up like.
That's what I'm saying. So, yep. So now Mr. Odor will get to play against the Blue Jays multiple times a year now.
Oh, nice.
What are you? Oh, sorry. What are you asking me now? Like
No,
I care?
Well, no, I'm asking you. You remember that incident with Odor and Batista and the?
I answered your question. I said, yeah, I remember. Now I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, I don't expect you to, but you're gonna have to deal with them now multiple times a year.
No, I won't actually. But yeah.
Well, I was gonna say is that the players that the Rangers are getting in return are minor league outfielders by the name of Antonio Cabello and Josh Stowers.
Congratulations.
Well, that's just the news that came out. Was Rougned Odor has been traded to the Yankees. So that's that.
Congratulations for him. Congratulations.
Yeah, a little bit of news from the Rochester Americans. They actually lost in overtime tonight against Syracuse, 4-3.
Yeah.
So
You know what? They probably do better if you brought them up in place of the Sabres.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I like to see some players come up and see what they're all about.
Well, here's the time. Now is the time to bring them up and be like, hey, go fucking free and just fucking do whatever.
Well, if you're going to see what you got with some players and get a look, I mean, might as well start now.
That's what I mean. You might as well give her now.
They brought up Royce the Line in, so hopefully, I'd like to see what he does more. Maybe eventually I'll get to see Jack Quinn play a couple games.
Where's that fucking star goalie, Okapeka, looking? And where's he at?
He's in Rochester.
He was on the taxi squad.
Bring him up. Fucking let him play a few games, man.
I don't know if they want to fuck with his confidence right now.
Dude, if anything, it's only going to help him. Bring him up and let him fucking play.
I guess. I mean,
time.
I wouldn't mind it just to see what you got in the kid and give him a little taste of the next level. But I don't know. It's a touchy subject.
Right. I'd almost want to focus more on his development. Just keep developing him. Keep giving him playing time in the AHL, and then keep working with him until.
You can only develop players so far. After a while, you have to give them a taste of it. You have to literally let them taste it.
Yeah.
You can't. It's like putting a guy in front of a vagina and being like, "Hey, smell it. Don't touch it, though." You have to give the guy a couple chances to be like, "Hey, man, here's how it is. Here's how it tastes. Here's how you do it." You have to give him something.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to giving them maybe a couple games here and there. Just hey, get your feet under you, man. Keep doing that, and then eventually it's kind of the thing. Work your way into the lineup, and then go from there.
Oh, the Leafs are about to win.
Yep, they got it.
Yeah. I think that's about it as far as news is concerned.
Awards.
Oh, here's some news.
Jack Campbell, man, 10-0.
Oh, 10-0, Jack Campbell. 2 shutouts.
God damn.
You're telling me you need another goalie? Okay.
I'm just worried about the goalie. Not him. I'm worried about the backup, as in not having, Hutchinson being a backup.
I have an idea. Why don't you do this? Why don't you cut Freddie Anderson and bring up Sam Darnold to be your backup?
I'm not even going to warrant that with a response. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I wouldn't either. What the fuck?
I just wanted to do that just to tease you, but yeah.
No.
Speaking of teasing, how's your hairline, Bobby?
No, here we go.
Well, I mean, it's doing pretty well for itself, actually. I have a better question. How's your face from all that smoke that you jointed the other night?
It's not smoke. It was like coke dust, but
Coke
like not the good coke. It was
What were
like
you doing
black.
coke the other night? This is the face of fears, people.
Yeah, that's me. That was me.
Yep, the face of fears, people.
Wow.
I was doing okay. So I do tank inspections now. That's what I do in oil refineries. And I went in this one tank, and it was like full of this black coke dust, and I literally got coated in the fucking shit.
Oh, you
Right.
probably got asbestos and whatever else in there. Lord knows.
And I wasn't very happy about it. And they knew. I was like, hey, I was like, you didn't fucking tell me there was stuff inside the tank. You're like, oh, it's empty. I'm like, oh, this fucking empty to you?
Right. Oh Lord. Although you will be happy about this though, Austin Matthews got his 28th goal tonight.
He's at 28 now? Goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or
Guys,
is that like 24?
Maurice Rocket Richard winner 2021.
Mhm. Yep. And
My man Draisaitl, though, man, he got the Hattie. He's
4-point night.
Well, keep trying. You might catch up.
he's at 22 now.
Keep
Yeah,
trying.
even at a 4-point.
My
go.
man Leon.
Yeah.
Connor's got 23. Leon with 22.
Yeah.
Well,
Very-
Matthews is averaging the goal a game, so keep trying.
Yeah, well, keep playing Ottawa like this. They'll get closer.
Come on, it's Ottawa. Everybody can beat Ottawa.
Here we go. Here's a story that came out today. So Henrik Lundqvist is actually hoping to be cleared for the NHL return in this short term. And that was after he had his
Henrik Lundqvist should be a goalie coach. At this point, like the guy needs to like stop. Just stop.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, he signed a 1-year deal with the Caps back on October 9th, but then, of course, he had to have his open heart surgery done. And basically, he had a condition for 15 years where he had a leaky valve and he had to have it fixed. But apparently, what happened is it got worse. And then he said his aorta started to get too big and the pressure was too high. So basically, of course, he had to go ahead, have the surgery done. And he's actually hoping to get cleared to return. I mean, he's 39. He'd be a good goalie coach. Lundqvist has done a lot in the league. He's had a
That's what I
good.
mean, man. Like
I
the
mean,
guy would literally be like the best goalie coach you could ever have.
right. He would be a solid coach. I hope he goes that route at some point.
Not a head coach. Not a head coach whatsoever. Just like what you do on a power play or a goalie coach.
Right.
Because he sees it all. As a goalie, you see all. You see everything that goes wrong and doesn't go right
Right. Exactly.
from being a goalie.
Right. Someone like Arthur Zerbe had a really good career in the net for San Jose, and then he ended up being a goaltending coach. Still is.
Yep. I don't know. I just don't feel it's worth the risk for him to, to go back out there.
Right. Exactly. But apparently, to his credit, though, 7 weeks after his surgery, he actually Lundqvist began training on the ice again. So basically, with that, he's doing some different drills, and he's skated every day since that time. And basically, with that, he's training in New Jersey. He started back on February 23rd, and after he had his surgery at the Cleveland Clinic, which is a really good heart hospital here in the United States. I mean, they do a lot of good stuff with that.
I'll give him credit, man. I'll give him credit. That's why he's the king. The guy is never nonstop. His heart's in the fucking game. So
Yeah.
I won't take it away from him. I'll literally say that, like, yeah, like, you know what? If you think that's what you want, man, come back.
Yeah.
But like,
Go for it.
if you think you can fucking handle it, come back, because any team would be lucky to have you. And the coach, a kid under your fucking wing, yeah, fucking do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got that will, make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So as I say, pretty much I mean, for what we got, I mean, we covered a lot of stuff. We actually almost went 2 hours. So I want to say before we go ahead and wrap it up, any other stories or points you want to bring up?
No, I don't think so.
I think Bobby's hairline has literally went back a half inch. But
I think Sam Darnold's going to be a great quarterback for the Panthers.
Oh man. Well, I know one thing, Luffy. Your sponsor is marijuana, and I know you got plenty of it if you need it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Lots of pot. And pot, by the way, just became legalized in the state of New York.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Cause we had it legal for like how long now?
I don't know. Different country. But whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for me, I guess.
All right. Cool. Well, I mean, we're pretty much all set. You know, everyone who watched and commented, you know, thanks for watching the course. And we'll be back here next Wednesday. So, of course, in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you next time here on the show.